everyone. So welcome to the Nullcon webinar series. My name is Sakshi. I am part of the Nullcon team and also your host for the day. So the Nullcon conference is a unique platform for security companies and evangelists to showcase their research and technology to the community. We have been running Nullcon security conferences 2010, where information security is discussed in detail among the industry, government, and tech community. So, in this work from home environment, we keep continuing to share knowledge and connect with our global community by running multiple online events like webinars, workshops, trainings, and resume clinics. So, in the coming time, we are going to have some exciting sessions on fuzzing workshop, ransomware, e-commerce cyber attacks, telecom network security, and many more. And also happy to let you know that we have announced our Nullcon security training in the online edition, which will happen from 23rd September to 26th September. And more details about the trainings will be put out in the chat box later. So now coming to our speaker, today we have Jen, and she's going to share with us her thoughts on charting career paths in cybersecurity. Bishakha Jain is an active information security evangelist and a diversity and inclusion ambassador from IBM's community for women in security called WISE from IBM India Chapter. WISE is short for Women in Security Excelling. Bishakha is an active speaker and moderator at IBM's WISE event. She has also worked with various security-led communities such as InfoSecKids, InfoSecGirls, OWASP Winja, EWF 1M1B, CyberSaathi, AnitaB.org, CyberPreserve, and many more. Bishakha is also passionate about increasing diversity participation in the information security space. So, on behalf of everyone, welcome Bishakha Jain. Thank you so much, Bishakha, for joining us. And before we move on to the presentation, a few instructions for the audience. So the first thing, our talk is for 30 minutes, and after that, we will have a question answer session. So if you have any questions while the presentation is going on or after the presentation, you can just drop them in the chat box. And the second thing is, I would request all of you to keep your mic on mute during the session, so there is no disturbance and we can hear the presentation clearly. So keep these two things in mind, and without any further delay, I request Bishakha to take over the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Sakshi, and hello everyone. Hello Nullcon. It's good to be here and talking about how to charter your career path in cybersecurity. So let me begin. So about me, it's already mentioned. Still a quick intro about myself. I am Bishakha. I work as a senior consultant with IBM. I am the associate lead for education and awareness, WISE India Chapter. About WISE, Sakshi already mentioned. I'm the council representative for WICCI West Bengal, which is Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I am the founder of UKCSA India Chapter. And also, I am the brand ambassador for Women in Cloud Network. So moving on, today we will be talking about why on earth is cybersecurity important and how can you make a career in the same despite of you being in the security domain or not? How do you start? Where do you begin? And lot more. So these are the few things which I'll be talking about. Why cybersecurity? How to embrace diversity, because cybersecurity is the culmination of so many things churned into a cohesive whole. It's not just about the technical field, which is wrongly projected. It's not only about the non-technical field. There are lots of things you can do. You can be a whistleblower, you can be an evangelist, you can be a hacker, you can be anything you want under the sun in security. And what responsibilities come along and how do you find out where your pot of gold lies in this domain? How do you explore various aspects of security and how do you go about it? So let's move on. Types of security, and I know this is not these are not only types of security which exist, but these are few of them, because cybersecurity has lot of things in it. Everything you think about can be in security. There can be laws, there can be infrastructure, application, hardware, software, cloud security, internet of things, everything. And I don't think I need to explain what all are these types of security, because ample amount of resources are available in the internet. All you got to do is find out what interests you and how do you go about it. So before that, let me start my story. I started as a penetration tester, and then I later realized that I am more interested in the managerial aspect of security. So I went ahead to pursue my MBA in security. And then what does it do? And then I landed into evangelism thanks to Nullcon, because it was one of my first path takers wherein I got an opportunity to preach security. First as a writer, then as a promotion coordinator, and now finally I'm here talking about security. Uh, Reason being, I was always a curious person, and in security is something which interested me because there were few subjects during engineering which are which were very fascinating to me. First being computer networks, data communication, and this got me interested into learning things, programming skills. All my programming skills were manifested only after I got interested into computer networks. I started with Linux, I won't lie. I was never into C, C++ and all. I got to learn all of this only during my on-job training, because I was just surviving engineering somehow. And that's okay, because security has a room for everyone.
There seems to be a technical issue. Just give me 5 minutes. So there is some technical issue at her end. So she will be joining back soon. So please wait. So Bishakha will be joining us very soon. Yeah, she is here. Sorry for the issue.
Sorry, people, for the technical glitch. I hope I am audible now.
Yes, you are.
Yes. So, coming back to my story, so I started as a penetration tester. Now, what is important when you are into penetration testing? First, which helped me was my concepts because I was very thorough with networks concepts and working for a telecommunication giant. Ericsson mostly had me with the call flows and network concepts, subnetting and everything. It came as a part of the penetration testing stuff. So yes, I will be sharing my presentation. Hold on. So yes, but later on, I realized that I was more interested into the auditing part of it, report writing, strategic part of it, because I have learned the art. As you grow in your career journey, you get to you advance in your things, right? So I got to learn from my manager how things work, how the business side of security works, the business acumen, and which led me to think about how about doing an MBA dedicated to cybersecurity, because I also wanted to manifest the business acumen of cybersecurity. Hence, I pursued MBA, and therein, uh, since Nullcon was very famous, and as students, we were always enthusiastic to see big security practitioners coming from all around the globe and their research, learn about their research as to know what on earth is going on in the field of security. I was also one of those students. So I started contributing through my college magazine. I started writing blogs and taking interviews for promoting Winja because women in security, the number is still very less, 24% of the workforce to be precise. I started my journey from college. Moving on, I got placed at IBM and then I joined WISE IBM after being 6 months old as an IBMer, wherein I got to preach security. And there I got my pot of gold. But still, I was curious. I wanted to learn about product security. So I joined Rainbow Secure as a marketing apprentice, sales apprentice. As a sales engineer, I learned about how do I sell my products in security, and there was a challenge to explain everybody why on earth you need to invest in security. It's a big deal, and so you got to be very finished. I mean, what to say, with a very good technical as well as communication acumen. You got to learn how to work as a sales engineer. And in my apprenticeship, I understood the marketing aspect of security. Moving on, uh, small opportunities started coming my way, and then I got to know that psychology of security is something which fascinates me the most, because if you can teach someone or influence somebody as to why on earth your job is important, nothing like it, because there are many people who invest their day in and day out in working for security researchers, but there has to be someone who blows the whistle as to what is going on around the world. And that makes the life of hackers difficult, because when more people are aware about the importance of security, hackers got to roll up their sleeves and work more. But on the other hand, we do have good technical researchers, ethical hackers in the world researching continuously about the aspects of various aspects of security, making the lives of hackers difficult through their bug bounties and whatnot. So yes, I started my game as an influencer, and this is about my teeny mini story in security. But long story short, was what was important. Let's few skills. Since I was not always an engineering enthusiast, which came to my rescue during my learning process. I was good at mathematics. When you talk about cryptography, when you talk about many other skills, even for that matter in data analysis, your mathematical skills got to be on point. And that has helped me a lot in identifying patterns, the analytical skills, mathematical skills, basics, not an advanced level, but yes. In security, the beauty and crust lies that you got to have your learning game. You cannot give up on your learning. And with this skills coming to your rescue, life become easier for you also and for your fellow practitioners. Then comes programming skills. Again, not at the advanced level, but definitely a brief know-how about the programming skills, the art of manifesting, or trying to break the code is what we call as a regular jargon which is spoken in the industry. So you got to learn to break the code to make your pen testing easy, and that is how you can go about in the field. Then comes statistical skills. So mathematical, analytical, statistical, these are the skills which came to my rescue because in identifying a pattern as to how you can think like a hacker, you got to step into the shoes of the bad guy, and that will only happen when you are good at when you have the acumen of thinking like them. Then came the communication skills. Communication skills, I believe, is the number one skill to prosper in anything in life because without a good communication acumen, I don't think anything is worth or anything can be manifested. You might know it all, but don't know how to speak. Your game is over there and then. And that is what works in security the most. That is why we have so many big names in security. That is why we have Nullcon because they preach security through communication. The world knows, the Indian cybersecurity fraternity knows about security because there was one community which stood up to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, I don't think it's a waste of time. Teamwork environment because different people think differently, and that is the beauty of security because too many minds here doesn't spoil the broth because they add to it, to the beauty of security. So the more the merrier. You learn from different people. I learn from each of my mentees because I don't think the way they think. And besides, as a student or as a mentor, also you get to learn from every person that walks in your career because they have a different idea of working in security, different way they would do, and if you can culminate all those things and become a good security practitioner. Integration and discretion, so the ability to make the right decision at the right moment. That is why so many attacks in the world, some are easily overcome. Why? Because the person who was looking after it or the person involved in eliminating the same was a good decision maker. Problem solving skills, anything in life, not just security. You have to prosper, you will prosper in life only with these skills, and these skills are a given when you are a good security practitioner. There is no way escaping it. Next, why is it necessary? So I believe one thing. You can be good at any game. You can be a good developer, tester, anything. But if at all on earth you don't understand the purpose behind why on earth are you on security and what makes you a good security practitioner, I think it's a waste of time and all the breadth that you have taken in this domain. First purpose being you are here to help make internet the better place, because with the internet of things we all have smart TVs, our phones are smartphones. Right now we are working on Zoom. There are so many cyber attacks happening day in and day out. You got to understand as a good cyber practitioners, it's a power that you get to help the community with your working. And with great power comes great responsibility, the responsibility to give back. And that will only manifest when you are a continuous learner. In security, if you think that you know it all, your game is over there and then. Every day there is a new attack, every day there is a new research, and you cannot be out of the game. Your career gets finished. So, continuous learning is something which will only help you become a fine security practitioner, because learning is a lifelong process and there is no end to what all you can learn. honestly, there are so many fields in security. Sometimes I feel I don't know so many things, and that's okay because there is a power in cybersecurity. We have community, and you will find people, or you have to identify people who will help you with those concepts which you're interested in. So the thumb rule, you got to research where you fit in. That will only happen when you make your hands dirty. Until and unless you don't know how to do hands-on, I don't think it's even worth being here, because when you do your hands-on, team with your theoretical knowledge is only when you can say that you're a good security practitioner. So there is no escaping from hands-on, and there is no escaping from knowing the concepts also, because you cannot communicate and you cannot know the crust of what on earth you're doing and why are you doing what you're doing. So very important. Uh, the secret sauce, which no one tells you, and things which people think that will that are important to become a good cybersecurity practitioner, but they are not. Uh, you don't need a degree to be a good cybersecurity practitioner. You don't need a genius IQ. You don't have to be toppers. Trust me, I was never a topper in my college life, and it was not even required. Certification, again, it's a very big myth. Good if you do certification, good if you learn the content from those certification journals, but yes, that you will become a good cybersecurity practitioner is only when you have a certification is a wrong concept. So kindly don't preach and practice this. Expertise in every domain, that is not possible only because cybersecurity, there is no end to it. It's a big umbrella. You don't even know what all are things in it. Every day there is a new finding, there is a new umbrella coming up. You can learn about this thing, same, but you cannot always be an expert, and that's okay. Learn to let go. Just know it, that it exists, and choose your domain, find where you fit in, research enough, and then you can be a good cybersecurity practitioner. GitHub repository, because many people come to me, do we need to have a GitHub repository to become a cyber? These are the frequently asked question my mentees ask me. Various college students come to me with this question, and I find this question funny. I mean, who on earth are selling certifications? It's not required. Concepts, I will always advocate. It is important because without concepts, I don't even think that you can understand why on earth you are here. Very important. Because when I started my journey as a penetration tester, I actually did not know about risk management, ISMS. Those were not even the concepts which were taught in our engineering. I only got to learn all those things during my MBA, and that was important. Now I understand security better with those concepts, and it is very important to understand uh, about where you belong. But most importantly, what do you need? The secret sauce, curiosity. Without curiosity, nothing works in security. Your proactiveness, curiosity to find. That is why we have security researchers, and it is an active profession in security. Like being into research, you don't even have to be into consulting or any other type of role. The researcher work is highly paid, and it's important because that is how the domain grows because of them. Integrity, of course, because where you work, you cannot sell. Uh, so this is something which comes a given. Proactiveness, the zeal to learn is something which is very important in security. Coding skills, communication skills, all types of skills will only happen when you try to figure out why. The hows, whys, whens, where, those answers, when you try finding out in the work day in and day out job you do, you become a better security practitioner. And it is very important. Resilience, the ability to learn, unlearn things. You got to unlearn a lot of things. So when I was working as a pen tester in my first job, there are many things which have become dinosaur. When I joined the industry back after a gap of 2 years, I found out those things doesn't even work at this point in time in the industry. So I became a dinosaur with my penny expression testing skills. That's okay because I got to unlearn something and then relearn. That's very much important. Critical thinking. A good security practitioner is the one who thinks, whether it is report writing, doing audits, or whether pen testing or research or evangelism. You got to think why and how. So critical thinking is something which will come to your rescue when you think of gaming up, and there is no shying away from studying because that is the beauty about our domain. That is, you got to learn every day, and that keeps you engaged, and that keeps you your life interesting, I believe, because that is how things work for me, and I am sure it will work for you too. How to engage in learning. So even if you are not a security practitioner from day one, you can get into security through few of these ways. Mentoring, there are many communities across the globes which provides you mentoring opportunities. So you just have to find out a good mentor from those avenues which are providing mentors, or through various social media handles. We have LinkedIn and many others like that. Find out a mentor and ask them to help you out. They will show you the way, but you have to get your hands dirty and work in this domain to get into this domain. Workshops, there are many free workshops. I know many of which Nalcon itself provides, which is something where you can learn from. Go ahead, get into those workshops. There are many free workshops that happens day in and day out. You have to be vigilant as to what is going on in this world. Find out a workshop for yourself and try finding out where do you fit in this domain through those. There are many blogs, news, YouTube channels, white papers, scholar.google.com. For everything, I go and refer. For every new topic wherein I have to research something, these are the things that comes to my rescue. I am sure that will come to your rescue too. Hackathons, capture the flags. So there are many institutions and many organizations which host a lot of capture the flags and hackathons. If at all you are a very technically sound person and curious person who likes finding the flags or the bugs, I think these are things for you. It has a prize money involved, most of them. So there are many websites also. If I know Dare to Compete is one of them. So you can go on with those places, at those places, find out those competitions and participate. Next. So as we come to the end of the session, let me tell you a very important thing, which is you are supposed to remember, and we all are supposed to remember, which is when you stop thinking, the attacker starts thinking. So continuous learning is the key to effective security management. This is quoted by my mentor, Dr. Angelina Gokhale. And this is the secret recipe of being a good cybersecurity practitioner. You got to learn continuously. There is no hiding or escaping from it. Next, unlike real war, fight against cybercrime has no definitive boundary. No matter where you are placed, every new cybersecurity expert counts. Now, uh, even I have heard this that the most important cybersecurity practitioners are one who do the hacking, and mostly it is a myth about cybersecurity. It's all about hacking. It is not. It is just a small thing which falls under the umbrella of cybersecurity, and every security expert counts. Whether you are a report writer, whether you are an evangelist, whether you are a security marketer, whether you are a sales engineer, whether you are a consultant, we all are contributing to the internet safety, and that is very important. So that was about my time. Thank you. And do we have questions?
That was a really great presentation. Thank you so much, Bishakha, for this amazing informative session. I am sure our participants must have found some important knowledge inputs from it. Let's just give them a minute in case they have any questions. If anybody has any questions, please drop it in the chat box. Okay, so we have one question from Shahriz. Is it worth doing the OSCP course?
Well, if you think so, it is. But why do you want to? My question is, why do you want to do this course? If you are confident enough, this will help you going forward in what you want to pursue. Definitely, you can go ahead. I don't advocate certifications just for the sake of certifications. If you are very much into it, you can go ahead. But most of the time, what happens is your organizations help you to pursue certification. I don't think you have to invest extra money from your own pocket, making a big hole in your pocket to go ahead for certification. So now you decide why on earth it is important for you. Is there a requirement somewhere, or is it required for your job? If it is, then you can go ahead.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. There are any other questions? You have answered most of them. You have given them a more clear view. So thank you so much, Bishakha, once again, and thank you all for your participation in today's webinar session. We have our next webinar workshop session on the crash course, a non-programmer's guide to fuzzing by Rishikesh Nandekar on 29th August, and hope to see you there. So that concludes our webinar. Thank you so much for joining. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.